we have a love-hate relationship with Marvel Rivals. This is part 2. In the previous video, we kind of talked about how you run into all kinds of personalities, all kinds of players, and usually on the weekday nights, because Lord knows, like whatever they went through, most people went through, have a tough day at work or had a tough day with family, whatever, relationship. But I think a big thing that crossed my mind is when you play, like the biggest thing is like you really can't fix a bad attitude. You really can't fix other people's personalities. And I think when you hop online and like you agree to play the game, play the objective, there's people who kind of already made up their minds on how they want to be. And they're like, these people are like really stubborn players. And I feel like whether it's the people who are so quick to blaming other people for their shortcomings or for losing the game, or people who are just like downright toxic. They just have a lot to that they need to get out. Like I'm pretty sure they're going through something in life, in their personal life, because there's no way you're gonna hop on like a game. It's a game. Like you're gonna hop online and spew all this hate, all this anger, all this toxicity. Like and mind you, like you're actually typing out the words in the chat, or like using your mic and stuff. So it's just funny, like how many angry people you run into. But a big thing that like I feel like it's teaching me is like you really need to just like if you're getting tilted by those personalities, like you need to just like draw the boundary, draw that line for yourself, and like remind yourself that you are not responsible for their personality. Like sure, you could say an encouraging word or two, but you just can't fix a bad attitude. Like you get like, it's not your responsibility to. And I think when I get tilted by the game, and when I get tilted by something that someone's not doing or, someone is doing, most of the time it's just because I have this expectation. And maybe I need to lower my expectation, but I have this expectation that we were all in this together and like, rainbows and butterflies, and we're here to play together, right? And we're here to have fun together. But when you run into that kind of toxic personality, it is very exhausting, and it kind of sucks the fun out of the game. They're like Death Eaters. They're like life suckers,
Yeah, like, I mean, I'll add on to that. Like there's a term that they use in the game called throwers.
Oh yeah.
Who's throwing.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of it's a loaded term because it captures a few different things. So there's people who are legit, their whole goal coming into the game is to just come on your team and play like garbage, or like essentially trying to rage bait you, right? Like just coming in, know that they're doing poorly or know that they're not helping the team, and they just continue to just do whatever they're doing.
Why?
And like they're just like, what is it in the movie with the Joker? He's talking about like some people just want to watch the world burn. Like those are those people. Those are the same people who go into like the comment sections and just have like nothing but like hate.
Yeah,
like,
nothing good to say.
Just like trying to beat up on people.
Yeah.
It's just like, why? Is this the best use of your time? Right?
I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, and then also in that throwing term are people who like, they're playing, but maybe they're really bad at a character, and you can kind of see like they're not playing well. And despite people trying to say something, they're just continuing to do whatever they want, or maybe they're doing very poorly on the character and someone's like, hey, can you swap? Can you switch? And they're just like, kind of don't care. They're just doing whatever they want. Essentially they're adding no value.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, these are the things that can definitely, put you over the edge, right? Like, those are things that it really requires you to breathe and, have a little bit of like, grace. Anger management and like
Jesus.
All right, breathe. Like, okay, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like it makes you. Although it's bad when you get those people who are just absolutely terrible to play with. Is when you get a good group of people coming together and like it's like a hard fought battle and like maybe there's some back and forth with the other team, because no one wants to like steamroll the other team. It's like it's nice to like get the win, but like steamrolling the other team is not very rewarding. It's nice when there's like a good back and forth, or maybe you guys are struggling in the beginning and you guys start to pick up some momentum. Like maybe you make a few swaps, or you change your comms or whatever the case may be, and then you start to get some momentum. You're like, oh snap! Like here we go! Like we're actually getting it.
If it's too easy, it's not satisfying, right? And that's the second piece, or the next piece, the next lesson that the game is teaching us is that you like. It's so frustrating, frustrating when you have that one player that is so quick to surrendering, or like they'll like do a vote in the game. You can cast a vote to surrender, and you need, I think, majority votes or all 6 votes. Do you need?
Yeah, I think it's a majority. I don't remember. I don't think it's all 6.
Oh, okay.
As you can tell, we don't really surrender much. That's not our thing. So we don't even know how to go to it. But I see it pop up on disregard.
Yeah.
Like, let's just try to figure something else. Try something different, whatever.
And I've been tempted to also click that vote to surrender too, because some personalities, I'm telling you, like, oh, by the grace of God, like, Lord help me, like, Lord help me, because I just want to smack somebody, like. But I just want to say that, like, you don't get better by surrendering, and that's also true for life. Like, you can't just show up to your work and just like, oh, screw my employees, screw my coworker. Like, I don't want to mess with them. Like, and it's just like, in that kind of environment, you kind of have to learn how to work within your constraints and just do the best you can. And I think and that's why I say, if it's too easy, it's not really satisfying. And if it's way too hard, it's very debilitating. Like, it sucks the living soul out of you. So I think the sweet spot is kind of like in the middle, where and it's like you have a bit of a challenge. It is a challenge, and maybe like the first round, like, you guys just get demolished, right? But the second round, like, you change up your composition of characters, and maybe somebody switches to like a support or healer. Maybe maybe you guys do like double tank or whatever. But you guys like adjust and like work together as a team, and then come round 2, it's a completely different field. And I think that those are the most satisfying games, when you don't you want to surrender, you want to give up, you want to throw in the towel, but like, if we can just try one more time, even if you don't win, like, you come so close, or like you give it your best shot. I think those are the most satisfying, the most fun. And I always say, like, if you're not, we both say this, like, we wholeheartedly believe that if you're not having fun doing it, you're doing it wrong. And I have to catch myself. I'm guilty of this, because I will get easily tilted in that game. We both will. And I think it's just, it's almost like, as adults, like, we go through so much in life, and we get to this point, and we get to this stage in life where you kind of forget how to have fun. I know I mentioned that in the last video, but you do forget to have fun. You do forget to like laugh at yourself. You do forget to not take people seriously, not take the game seriously. And I just feel like I always love those games when people know how to have fun. Like, those players that will like, imitate, like, they get in character. Maybe they'll play a Wolverine, and like they'll like mimic the voice actor for Wolverine, or like they'll like get in character, or they'll do some funny stuff like a Doctor Strange, or trying to attempt a portal, like a crazy portal on the map, and they fail miserably and cost us the game. But I think it's just those moments where people just kind of know how to have fun, or like they're like encouraging one another, like, oh, thank you for amazing heals, or like, great job, team. And like, woo, like, you will hear like someone panicking from being dived in the background, and then we all help each other out. I think it's not, if the objective is to win and you get tilted by not winning, you're doing it wrong. I think the objective is, well, to each their own, right? But for us, like, I think nothing's more satisfying than people coming together on a shared mission, on a shared like objective. Like, okay, ideally, in a perfect world, we work together and we win the game, right? The win is satisfying, right? Obviously. But I don't think that should be a fair metric for having fun. I think you can always have fun, even if you lose, because you could always find a way to have fun with the game, and maybe try something different with your character, learn something new on the map. But I think the point is, like, just have fun, right? You kind of have to learn how to have fun and not stress.
I'll touch on that, please, because to me, having fun is working towards the objective, right? Like coming together, right? Like if you come into the game and you're just trying to have fun or whatever, like you can go do that in quick match. You know what I'm saying? Like don't come into ranked where I'm trying to do my thing and you want to be having a good old time. Like
2 different kinds of players.
I'm like,
two very
don't
different
get me
kinds.
wrong, I want to have fun. And you got to trust the process, right? And like sometimes you get matched up against another team and you're just getting the belt the whole time. And it's like, okay, yeah, we aren't going to win this one. But it's like just trying to come together, like trying to get people to be like, okay, let's try this. Let's do this. Like experimenting, right? Because it doesn't matter how good the other team may be. Like sometimes you can just have a good counter or a good move, or you could try something out. And that can give you a little space or like help you progress, right? And I think it's those small wins that can be, helpful. But it's everyone kind of understanding what's the objective we're trying to do here and us kind of coming together towards that objective. Now, if everyone's just kind of running around trying to do their own thing and they're kind of like, screw it, I'm just going to do what I want to do at this point. Then it's like, okay, what are we doing here, right?
His favorite line, I mentioned in the video, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, what the F are we doing?
Yeah, everyone's just everywhere, going here, going there, this and that. And like, people are...
It's all over the place.
Yeah,
just
they have characters that aren't working clearly. And it's like, I mean, you could just try something.
No counters to anything on the other team, mind you.
Yeah, I'm like, even if you don't know how to play someone, it's like, at this point, we're already just getting destroyed. So it's like, you might as well pick something up, try something, do something different, try a new strategy, and what's the worst that can happen? We lose. Like that's already where we're headed right now. So yeah, I think it's a big thing that we come to realize too is you just gotta be able to control what you can control, right? Like, and this is true for life, right? There's certain things that are just outside of our control, outside of our hands, and it's like I can't make anyone do anything. I can share a thought, I can share perspective, right? And also, being mindful of how I come across and how I speak to people is also important, for them to be receptive to what you're saying. Because if you do sound nasty when you say it, even if you're saying something that's truthful, but you're saying it in a nasty tone, people can take it a certain way. And, as my wife was saying before, is like, you don't know what people might be experiencing in their own life. They come into the game and then you say something in a certain way, and maybe it reminds them of their coworker or their family member or their friend or this and that just triggers them, and then it creates this big old spiral, right? So I think it's really important to say, like, what can you work on? How can you improve, right? And there's little things that you can work on. You could maybe work on your positioning. You can work on your accuracy. You can just kind of start to like break the game down into a smaller piece that's more manageable, so you're not overwhelmed by the fact that, okay, we're not doing anything coherent in this whole in the whole match. So yeah, it's a very eye-opening experience, and I think that's what we enjoy. It's maddening at times, but like when it comes together, it's really beautiful, and it's like, wow, you're getting to play with these people, and you're going up against a tough team, and everyone's coming together, and you're able to support each other, and people will even like have like little call outs in the chat where you were talking about like the heals, or someone might say, oh, that was a good job with the Magneto bubble, or that was a great ult, and this and that. Like, it's just nice when you kind of see that come together. And it's not always the case, but I know you're really good at it, babe. So like, I try to learn from that, because sometimes I'll lose and everyone's like, GG. I'm like, man, I ain't saying GG to nobody. Like, let's go on to the next match.
Well, okay. So one thing I will mention is one thing I also realize is sometimes you have to be kind of careful with complimenting. Like, because you get a lot of egotistical people, or like people who just like look forward to the game and like want their egos fed. Like that's the number one thing they look forward to. So we had this one player, and I think he was he a Moon Knight, or like he was a Moon Knight, and like those who know. You know, like Moon Knight, you can farm, you can get a lot of damage, you can get a lot of eliminations. So it's funny because we queued with this guy, and he, I think round 1, for domination, we absolutely crushed it. And then I think
it was like a cart or like convoy.
Or okay, one of those games. Yeah. But the first round, we did amazing. And so I'm feeling good, like. My husband's feeling good. We're all feeling good. Everyone's feeling the vibes. And I, type in chat like, oh, great. And also like in my mic, like, amazing heals, like great DPS, duelists, like, making sure everyone gets a little spotlight because like everyone did their thing, right?
Yep.
Oh goodness. But this Moon Knight, and it's funny because like people were, when I mentioned, oh, like also like great job, Moon Knight, shutting down so-and-so on the other team, like really appreciate it. And that was genuinely like coming from a place of appreciation.
He was popping off. Like, he was going crazy.
Like, he was doing his thing. But little did I know that this one compliment was gonna wreck the rest of the entire like game, because as soon as I said that, someone else also, because like when someone like makes a good comment, they're like, yeah, like great job, you want to add to the cheerful like vibe. But I kid you not, this Moon Knight cracked. It's almost like he had like an alter ego. He's like turned into the Joker or something. But like he cracked, and like as soon as we said that, the second round, he was expecting all the heals. And mind you, like...
no, he said that. He was like, oh, yeah, like something about getting the heals.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I think he took a shot at the heals. So, I don't know.
So we were both playing tanks, vanguards. So we were trying to hold the front line. And as vanguards and tanks, you guys know, we have a lot of health. We need a lot of healing. We need a lot of medic. And so, obviously, we're both gonna get priority so we can take up space. But this Moon Knight, that second round, like, or after we finished the first round, he was like typing chat like, oh, I expect, like, I better get more heals. Like, and I don't know if it was joking, but I kind of fed into it. And I was like, yes, like, and he also too. He's like, yes, by all means, like, we gotta, because there's always that one player that pops off, and if they're really carrying the team in eliminations, like, why not support them? Why not keep them alive, right? Why not?
You gotta pocket them with the heals. Like, if they're doing it, why not?
Why not? Like, if that's your secret weapon, why not, right? I didn't think anything of it, but then this Moon Knight, second round, like, he started complaining. He started like, where are the effing heals? Like,
well, no, what ended up happening was, I think he made a comment, and then the healers on our team said something, and then him and the healer started getting into it.
They got defensive.
They got like, they started going back and forth.
Yeah, and then I mentioned
that messed up the chemistry. Because naturally, we were thinking like we're being, nice, just kind of giving appreciation. Serious. We were giving appreciation to everyone, frankly, but we especially noticed like how drastic his numbers were to everyone else. So we were like, oh, thank goodness, like he's able to do it. And sometimes you run into that. You run into like a hard carry, as they call it, right? Someone who's on your team that's like just putting in extra work. And you're like, okay, perfect, right? Like, let's keep this person protected. Let's keep them pocketed with the heals, and we're going to be good. And so I think that kind of led to a bit of attention, because instead of him being like gracious and humble in what he was doing, he took it as an opportunity to kind of like,
of course,
kind of poke at the healers. And I think they took it a certain way. I don't know. Maybe he was joking. We don't know, right? Because it was
so I vividly remember I mentioned that I was joking, and I said in the mic, so I'm joking. I mentioned, in the mic, I said, oh, like, definitely, like, shout out to Moon Knight, like, definitely, like, I, as a tank, I'm willing to give some of my heals, some of my health, so that he stays alive, because, I'm playing secondary tank, and like, even if I die, if our hard carry lives and he's doing it, he's holding the team down, like, by all means, I'm a team player, right? I don't have to get all the heals. I don't have to be the spotlight, right? But this Moon Knight took it a whole different direction when the healers are saying, yeah, but like, like we're working really hard because we got a lot of health. And I think it was a situation where the Moon Knight got kind of like a little prideful and like, oh, of course, like I should be the spotlight, right? Like, and he took it a whole different direction. What was supposed to be a joke went into a whole different direction. And
long story short, he got, I think, however many eliminations he had like 30 something in the first round. Yeah. The second round, I think he had 8.
And he only died 2 times on the first round, mind you.
But then that all took a reversal on the next match. And it just goes to show you just how quickly things can change up, right? And once again, that's also true for life. So when you start to feel like, oh yeah, I did it, I arrived, like, it's just like that, it can switch up on you. And, it really makes you realize that it's not done until it's done, right? Like it's not over till it's over. You really, if you're playing a game, you got to keep your foot on the gas. You got to stay focused, right? Stay humble. Like, yes, I had a good match. That's good. But we still have another round to go and we need to show up there. And like sometimes you can go into overtime and then you have additional matches. So it's like, it's not just one point in time. Okay, I did really good here. It's like you need to be consistent. And once again, it's like the team helps you do that, right? Like by talking, sharing things, like maybe you got to be careful with even like stroking people's egos. You got to be like very, because people start to make it about themselves. And then like, it just shows you how easy it is to like when someone says something about you, it's like, oh, okay, that is me. I am that person.
I'm him. And, I'm him. What is it? Himmy Neutron.
Yeah, right. Himothy or whatever. Actually, there was one time we played with the dude. His name was Himothy. He was definitely not Himothy. He was definitely not him at all. But
more of the story: stay humble. Be careful when feeding. Compliments are fine, but like you get a sense of if they're a little bit prideful. You gotta stay humble and you gotta watch who you're complimenting. You don't want to go all out because, mind you, that game we lost, by the way, terribly. Second round was a disaster. Like he did not get any eliminations. Like he and the supports were arguing the whole game. That he was typing in chat, like too busy typing than actually playing. So it was a complete spit show. Like. It was a disaster, but all that to say that it like all kinds of personalities, you have to really just take a moment, remove yourself, breathe, do some breathing exercises because you will get tilted by those people. But also understand like, okay, it's not me, it's them. They're going through something. Maybe they're going something in life. I don't know. But just breathe. Namaste. Like stay calm. It's just a game. And just, take that after you get off the game too, because when we get off those games, those tilting games, like I'm drained, like physically, mentally, spiritually. I am just drained. I get off and I'm just like, I don't even know why we spent the past 2 hours of our life.
Yeah. Sometimes you can like have like some solid games and some days you play and it's just terrible.
Soul sucking.
Yeah. But it's like, it's one of those things where despite that, it is still rewarding. It's still fun. It's when it comes together, it's like, it's really
we always
amazing.
Come back to it.
And like, and it's the truth. Like, and once again, when you think about life, it's so hard to build something. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes patience, right? Humility. To build something, it is very hard. So when you do, look at your life and you've constructed a life that you're happy about, you're proud of, and like, you're happy to be where you are, it really means something. Or like if you worked on something and it put a lot of time into it to see it pay off, it's so rewarding. But we all know that it's hard to build something, but it's extremely easy to destroy something. And so it's another thing that you can learn is like, you do have to be really careful of how you present yourself, how you come across to others, how you treat others. And really it's important to, and this is probably the hardest thing, but like, with reading the Bible and like what God asks of us is to be able to serve others. And that's a really tough word to like deal with is like, you're actually there to try to serve others. And like that can be in any capacity, right? So it's not just at work or in school or with your family at church, but even like when you're playing a game, once again, it could seem trivial to some. But it's like, hey, how can I be a help to someone else? How can I bless someone else in this game? Like, you just never know what a kind word or being able to step up and do something, share something could really impact somebody else. So you just never know what impact you can have.
A lot of people are going through stuff at this day and age. And I fear and worry about people's mental health. Like, we're very blessed, right? Because, we're big on our faith and we're also big on, practicality, right? So obviously like something trivial as a game, I think it's all like, I think that is one of the biggest spaces that we need more positivity and kindness and patience and grace in, because with you being anonymous and like being behind a screen, like not like with people not knowing who you are, it kind of like opens up the door for you to tap into the darkest pieces of yourself. So, you know, like I get why people get so toxic on, you know, in the gaming world. And I've seen this like ever since I started gaming. So it's just interesting because I think it's a great avenue for us, especially like as we embark on our faith journey. Like I have two personalities. I have the personality that just wants to smack people. And then the other, like I'm convicted, even as I'm playing, when I get so frustrated by other people, it's not even the game. It's like, I don't really get frustrated by the game itself. I get frustrated by people. And I think that is very convicting for me as a Christian believer. Like I get convicted to like, just take a moment and just like empathize and like potentially open up the possibility that like, maybe they're going through something, you know, and like, who am I to sit here and like, try to like get back at them and like, you know, like try to argue with them and, you know, behind a screen too, behind, you know, so
I was gonna say, don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah.
Don't feed them.
Yeah. So for, you know, anyone who does play the game, feel free to add us, feel free to message us, email us. We'd love to play with you. We love having a good time, you know. And for those who are toxic and are going through stuff in life, we're praying for you. And also, please stay out of our lobbies. Like, please.